Hi guys, hi ladies and gentlemen, it's Rik Marston. I just want to talk to you guys quickly about the JUNO-DS, about the JUNO-DS multi-sample feature, which has been added to the incredible sampling power that's already been given to you. Originally it was like 32 megabytes. I think they've moved it to 64 now with the expansion of 2.10. With the tone editor, you're able to create your own custom multi-samples is really bitchin'. So here I've got a couple here I've already imported into the user spots. Two of my specific sample collections I was working with, which is the Dark Juno 106 collection that I have featured on the reverb.com. And I've also got the Sequential Circuits Six-Trak also available as a sample collection on the reverb.com. Check the description below. All the links to all my 16 sample collections are available, and most of that is all in stereo, and all of that can be loaded into the JUNO-DS and like type of synthesizers, Chronos, Phantom, FA06, etc. Anything that takes in wave samples. That also includes the new groove boxes that just came out by Roland. Also, let's just get down to this. What I've got here is I'm going to show how I've stacked C, 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 and C, so that C1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I've placed samples of those individual Juno 106 octaves, and I was able to place it. So let's go ahead and hear what those sound like. This is the Juno 106 in action. There is a cutoff point that I did, which was the, let's just say G and G sharp. You see how fast? That sample's a little bit slower than the others. This is a higher octave, so. But as you can see, that's where I did my cutoff point for the samples to split, which would be G to G sharp. So C, every sample is imported in at whatever sample zone it's supposed to be, like C1, C2, C3. Make sure that when you're doing the import in your sample import, you import those samples in exactly at what you need, which is C1 to wherever they're supposed to go in the range. So when you actually go into the multi-sample mode, the JUNO-DS and the editor know exactly where the main center key will be for that, the main key that it is to be imported in at. So the key range. So here's the Juno 106. As you can see, I got some chorus on that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down to the octave lower, and you can hear the richness of a Juno 106. I love being able to import some of my personal sample collections. It's just amazing. It's absolutely amazing to have a Juno 106 in your JUNO-DS or whatever. Like, so say if you want a full sample collection, you've got 64 megabytes to throw in individual one shots, or you can do full multis. And I personally say with the 64 megabytes, I'd use like the full octave ranges of some of my larger collections. It's fantastic because you're able to get the full sample capability and the playability of a sample. Here's the Sequential Circuits Six-Trak. This is a kind of a sad strings, kind of Gary Newman style, very 80s sounding pad, very sad, and detuned too. Okay, again, I've got each sample was placed into each C, and then on a cutoff point with the sample range in the editor was at G, and then the next sample range would start at G sharp all the way up to the next G, etc. So when you're going into the editor, make sure that you have that key range end at a zone that you know it's comfortable, where it doesn't sound like it's got too much overlapping. But remember, the JUNO-DS automatically is going to take in, say, a C whatever and put it into C4 as the center zone to spread across the keyboard anyway as default. So when you're doing something in the JUNO-DS editor, it's going to be really, really cool because you can actually put it into like a split, like do two different sounds in one multi, or you can have like Depeche Mode style. You'd have one octave as one specific sample with the keyboard range you can play. So you have multiple splits up and down. So 64 megabytes, use it well. I personally, in my sample collections, they're all long, extra long samples, so you can hold down the keys for a long time. It feels more natural and it sounds natural. Here is one example really quickly of the Juno 106 and the Sequential Circuits Six-Trak mixed together in a patch patch that was one of the presets, I just changed out the tone on the inside, the tone number A, and I took out their sample and I put my multi-samples, and in tone B, I put in the JUNO-DS. So it's Sequential Circuits Six-Trak on the tone 1, and tone 2 is the JUNO-DS, creating this patch with full effects. Thank you. Just think about taking any type of multi-sample and bringing it together like if you had a chord Kronos. It's just about the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and try to show some more examples. I'm going to load them up and show you some of my other sample collections that I've done. Those sample collections are available for you to purchase and to load into this keyboard, anything else that does waves or loads waves. And you can purchase it through reverb.com. And remember, all the links are at the bottom below in the description. So here's a couple of more multis that you can make and stuff, examples like this Juno that I just did. It's easy peasy to make your own multis. And people are asking me right now, hey man, can I get some more JUNO-DS samples? Hey, why not? You've got the ability to do it on a small keyboard like this with a budget. You can load it up with your favorite multis, any type of synth you want. Sample it in middle C or all the C's across and load it into the Juno. So, all right, here's a couple more examples. And of course, again, the links are below for all of these collections that you can load into your JUNO-DS or software application or whatever you want. Thank you guys so much. I love you, peace and respect, and I will talk to you all soon. Check out these new multis. All right, here's some more multis that I've got here. Let me just turn me down a little bit so it's not so whoopy. Okay, yeah, I got some more. These are Jupiters. And they're pretty darn cool. I was just like, hey, maybe we should do something with this. So yeah, I loaded each sample in, each sample that was stereo. This is a specific one that I've made for this specific demo. My Jupiter 8 samples are normally mono that I sell on the reverb.com. There it is again, the reverb.com, like the marijuanas, like, sorry. Basically, they're on reverb.com. I've got a Roland collection. I'm making an exclusive collection for the JUNO-DS that will be coming out in December of Jupiter 8, MKS 80, and Jupiter 6 from those collections, just specifically made for these keyboards and some of the new lines that are coming out, the new Roland stuff and other gear that it can take in stereo waves and use them in multis. Here you see I've got loaded individual samples of the Jupiter 8s already into the user sample slots. So I'm going to go over and show you some of my multi examples that I did of the Prophet 6 and the Jupiter 8. Here's a couple of different patches that I've made using and importing the multi-samples from the tone editor. Here's the Jupiter 8. This is another Jupiter 8 multi-sample I have called Sweet Strings. here, my little cutoff. The sample starts on each C, of course. I've got the range to end here at G, and of course the new sample multi-sample range starts at G sharp and starts to its middle C, and ends in here, and goes on to the next. So that's how you'll want to place the samples in the actual multi-sample in your tone editor. Make sure your center key is on your sample import will be, and when you sample it, will be in C. C2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and whatnot. But make sure your cutoff range, if you really want a good multi-sample to sound good in the JUNO-DS, ends at G, and the next key range to go from G to G sharp. So G sharp to G. And then the next thing will go again, of course, G sharp to G, G sharp to G, etc. Simple. Just place those in, then save them, write, and then once you're done writing, you can go ahead and screw around in the editor and create patches. Or even then, once you've written or hit write on your tone editor, in the tone editor for a multi-sample, it's going to put it into the multi-sample location in the Juno, so you can turn off your editor and just go and create new patches inside the JUNO-DS. So hey, all right, here's a Prophet 6 sound I made, which is pretty cool. This is from the Prophet 6 collection on Reverb.com by Rik Marston. Whee! And a really nice thick string sound. If you literally just play the multi-sample and the patch as normal and don't worry about the speed of the different changes, the cutoffs, because you can hear this is a slower sample, and this technically is a faster sample because it speeds it up as it goes. But you know, is this variphrase? Is this some sort of pitch shifting, time stretching? No, it's literally just really good programming from Roland, allowing you to do a center key, and it will kind of just help you stretch it out. So even in the old days, when just before this new upgrade, it was just like you get each sample in its C4, and it really did its best to spread that sample across to make it sound good, and it actually was playable. So now we have the ability to use the same kind of architecture in a multi-sample capability, and it knows and stretches that sample in each range. It sounds natural, man. Love it. Okay, here we go. Here's taking both Jupiter multi-samples and making a patch together. Tone A has the first one, which is the strings, and the other one was the super sweet strings. So. Yeah, I like this new upgrade. My samples with this synth, oh my god. Prophet 6 and a Jupiter 8 hybrid. So yes, this editor is cool, and this capability is awesome because now I've imported in my own multis and used even templates like any type of patch that's in there, and you can just drop out the internal tone or whatever DS multis they have, and put your own in there and make new patches with those effects. This is another example of the Prophet 6 and the Jupiter 8 together. Remember, the Prophet collection is already available on Reverb.com. The Jupiter collection is already available on Reverb.com, but it is only in mono, and I'm making a special stereo version of the Jupiter collection for the JUNO-DS series. So that hopefully will be out before Christmas. Contact me and we'll check through this web channel, Rik Marston Official, and I'll check on Reverb.com if you just want an awesome collection, or it's about 16 different collections that you could load into your awesome DS or other synth. Or here's another example. I've stacked 3 multis in this one, the 2 Jupiters and the Prophet. I guess you can see kind of the power of what the Juno can do now. So there you go. Here's some more. I'm going to see if I can come up with another video showing some more demonstrations of this awesome capability of loading your own multis in. Thanks to that awesome editor and the new OS and the extra sample RAM that they allowed you to put in stuff for the flash. This is great. It's flash. It's permanently in there. Your multis are permanently in there until you hit factory restore or erase them in the editors. Love you. Peace and respect, you guys. Check out my collections, the collection description below. You will be able to get those easily through Reverb.com, and they're under $20, like $14.99 right now. 16 different collections, analogs, vintage synths. Awesome. Love you. Peace and respect. Rik Marston out.